All right, we're here with Centerforce, and they have some really cool clutches. They have the Dyad clutch, and I've always really liked the design. And they have a new one for the Evo 8 and 9 now. And they also have some other new stuff, like a ball bearing pressure plates. Let's take a look at it with Brian. Hey, Brian, what's up?
How you doing, Mike? All right. Well, a couple of things that we have here. This is based on our Focus and all the EcoBoost products that we're doing. This is a twin disc Dyad. It's using a Kevlar composite. But what the Dyad actually means is that you have the lug-driven system that actually will drive the lower disc. Keeps the weight down. We can build a stronger hub, all chromoly. This hub's taken a lot of abuse in the off-road market, so it's got a lot of good testing in it. We've got a couple of different materials. We have a carbon Kevlar material, as well as a metallic material, a copper material, which they both serve different purposes, but both work very well for drivability and holding capacity. So, as Mike was saying, here's our ball bearing pressure plate. Shows how it's designed.
What are the advantages of the ball bearing pressure plate?
Ball bearing allows us to tailor each clutch to get the best release ratio as well as holding capacity. So keeping some of that drivability, a nice light pedal, as well as a good clamp load, and really being able to tailor it exactly where we need to.
So some of the advantages, I guess there's a pressure ring on here, and the ball bearings kind of roll up the pressure ring, so there's less
it's more about
pressure.
the pivot point in there. It's not rolling motion, but it's more of a pivoting motion.
Oh, okay, so it pivots about the bearings.
Correct.
And, okay, that's a really, so it kind of like it rests on the diaphragm spring
Exactly.
itself.
Exactly.
Oh, that's really cool. So, and the angle of the diaphragm spring and the position of the balls as the clutch gets applied changes the leverage ratio.
Exactly. That's where you get that release ratio in there. And this particular design, all the RS designs are the 8 3/4. They've got our curved diaphragm design in it, as well as attached weight system. So the weights that are used in this particular unit aren't floating weights like we've had in our traditional clutches. These are static. They actually transfer more weight to the diaphragm without as much deflection, no other moving parts. So it makes it for a real nice, high quality component.
So
all of these are made in the USA, which is a brilliant thing for us to be able to produce these in Prescott, Arizona.
So to explain a little bit about the weights for our viewers that aren't too familiar with Centerforce,
Okay.
like what these things do is they kind of add a centrifugal assist and increase the clamp load with RPM, right?
Correct. As RPM increases, it actually pulls the weights to the outer edge of the clutch, and that would just add that little extra bit when you need it.
That's pretty awesome. Does the pedal effort go up a lot with high RPM?
Not too much. You might notice a small amount, and that's only due to the fact that it's adding that additional weight, and it's only at RPM. So guys who are quick shifting, things like that, it's not really going to affect them much, but there is a little bit of an increased clamp load at that point in time. But normal driving, like just driving around the street, things like that, it's going to feel like a factory piece.
So what percent will these weights increase the clamp load toward the red line, for instance?
Well, we've measured it in pounds. In this particular unit here, I think it's about 200 to 250 pounds of pressure, additional pressure to the friction material.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Going back to the Evo clutch, I really like this hub. Like dealing with four-wheel drive launching and what they do to hubs.
Yep.
This thing is strong. I doubt that's going to fail.
Yep. We've built in the outside ring is all enclosed. High quality spring steel as far as the springs go. They've got multiple caps on it. So you've got dual layer on each one of the caps, which we call end plates or core plates. And like I said, being all enclosed, all chromoly, these are built extremely solid.
There's no way that spring's falling out.
Exactly, you won't find that.
How much does the flywheel weigh?
They vary. This particular unit is about 30 pounds for the entire unit, which is a lot less than what you would find in traditional parts. The final ending unit for the Evos are probably going to end up in the 25-pound range as a total package.
Wow, that's really light. Well, we got some really innovative clutch stuff by Centerforce, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.